Hello guys, it's Serial CTYRL and you're welcome to the Cloud Journey HQ. So today I just want to share some beginner-friendly cloud journey that you may want to know before you go into cloud computing, right? So cloud computing has more like being the main business, especially in this world of digital transformation and stuff. So a lot of people are actually diving into this amazing world of technology, and I think it's high time we all also get started with tech and stuff. Okay, so let's dive right into this. So first I need to share is I will be talking about the three major components of cloud computing which you should know. Just like the way you have your normal laptop, for example, which is the hardware. Then when you want to use your laptop, you have the OS inside of it. Then you also have your hard drive inside, your RAM, and also some network interface like your network card and maybe Wi-Fi and stuff. So the cloud as well has something similar, but everything is actually based off on the internet. So you just need to connect your online computer all from the internet. So the first thing I just want to do is I'm going to more or less deploy a virtual machine, which is more like trying to like should I say buy or set up a workstation that I could access online. So what I need to do is to just come to the word create. Then when it loads, I can probably search for the name of what I want to do. So you could actually look for virtual machines. So many applications are up and running, but then it just depends on what you want to do, and that's it. So we have okay, so we have so many stuff here. This is Windows 10 Pro server. So if you want to create this on a virtual machine, you can. This is Windows 10 Pro client rather. This is the server machine at the moment. So let's see, we can just create this as a VM. So I'm going to start up with this. We're just going to create a virtual machine. Then I'm going to then explain the compute resource, the networking, and storage. Okay, I think there's an. Oh, okay, fine. It's coming up. So it's currently trying to create like a GUI interface of where I could just put all my parameters, the name of my virtual machine and stuff. So now I can create a resource group. Resource group is more like a logical container. So I'm going to call this my tests um, deploy RG. So all my test deployment, I'm going to call this as this. Oh, I'm supposed to create. Okay, so tests deploy RG. All right, so I just want to create this new resource group. So resource group is more like a logical container that keeps all your resources. So your VM can be there, your storage account, and everything can be in this container. So that's the name of the container I'm using. So if I want to delete, I can just delete the test resource group, and that's it. So I'm going to call this a Windows test server because it's based on um, being okay. It doesn't support that machine, so being tests win test VM. Okay, so okay, not Europe, fine. Availability zone. I don't need availability zone. I just want to deploy something without no redundancy, just in one particular location. Trusted launch. So these are the security standards. So you can actually use this standard, basic, for what we want to do. So this is the size SK. So this size contains the RAM and also the CPU processing speed capacity capability. So here we have two cores. So we are going to talk about this in the compute side of things when we finish deployment of this VM. So I just want to give it Azure user. So I'm going to give it this username and password. Let me just give it something I can remember. Okay. All right. So it's connecting on port 3389. So that's the port for RDP sessions, right? So just confirm the license. Then you can go to next. For the digs, I don't want to take much of my digs, like especially this premium can be more expensive. So I could just use standard HDD because if I'm just more like training, so it's not like for production. So if you look at this, we have networking. So if you click on next, it shows networking. So basic digs networking are like the major core configuration side, but the rest might not really be looked into for now because it's like a basic class I'm doing. So here we have the virtual network has been created by default. Oh, it's trying to show the password for us. Okay, so whatever. All right, so the stub net was created by default. Then the public IP also was set up by default. So if you see, from what you see is basic digs and networking. These are the major stuff that create by itself. So I'm going to just click on review and create so we can have our VM up and running. So if you look at this now, we don't really need management, monitoring, advanced tag, like so on and so forth, because I'm just trying to show you how to just simply create the virtual machines from the Microsoft Azure portal environment. Then once we're done with this, we can then learn about those three major aspects that cloud computing really gives us in general. So it's giving us that your RDP session is going to be exposed to the internet because we are currently using the default settings. So it means that you could connect your VM from anywhere in the world, which I don't think it's cool, but then it's for the testing. So we're gonna create, and once I create, I'm going to show you how we can also connect it, trying to tell us that this RDP session is open to the internet, and I'm going to show you how we can also hide that RDP session so we can probably connect it only with our own IP address. You can just by setting maybe the traffic for the NSG rules and stuff like that. So it's more like a firewall that just say, okay, I don't want you people to connect, but I want a particular people with a specific IP to connect. So that's by the way anyway. Okay, so it's currently deploying the virtual machines that we just created. And after it's done deploying, what we just need to do next is to um, give more emphasis on the the Microsoft Azure virtual machines properties. I'm just going to talk about a bit of it, not really much. Then I can then go into the SKU size, which is the compute size, the data storage, then also the networking, because these are the three major components of cloud computing in general, especially when it comes to, like for example in the production environment. Like this is the major stuff aside maybe database AI, which is what is currently in vogue right now, but we are going to just talk about the general stuff. And I'm also going to give us more like uh, a simple troubleshooting approach that you can actually use to fix your virtual machines. Let's say, for instance, your virtual machine guest agent is not ready, or your virtual machine got in a failed state and you're trying to revive it, or your virtual machine for some reasons is consuming so much and you want to automate the shutdown. You could actually still do that. So I'm just going to help us with that, and I feel that is going to really help us if we eventually deploy our first virtual machines and we want to know how we can be able to fix one or two things by ourselves, right? So that's just pretty much it. Okay. So while we wait for the deployment, um, we are then going to. So I'm going to fast forward this because I think it probably might take some time. Um, but then let's see how it goes. It's still going through. So it's probably take like around 5 minutes. Oh, sorry, not 5 minutes. Let's say 3 to 4 minutes. Then you have it done. So I just have to fast forward it to get to this point. And if you look at this, it's showing on the screen that we should go to the resource. So from all indications, it's telling us that we've actually successfully deployed the Windows 10 client virtual machine. So this Windows 10 based virtual machine, when we click on go to resource, it shows us the properties of what the virtual machines entails, trying to let us know the compute resource, the size, like in data, and also the networking, like I said earlier. So these are like the three core components that you probably see. Then there are still others anyway. So let's see what we have. Now, if you look at this, it says that your virtual machine guest agent is not ready. Troubleshoot issue. So whenever your guest agent is not ready, sometimes when you deploy a new virtual machines, you are likely to see a message like this. But with time, you're going to see that it's ready. So let's scroll down and confirm if this is true. Right. So this is the size. This size contains the CPU, which is in the hertz, and the RAM, which is 8 gig RAM, then the IP address, which is networking I talked about. All right, so let's scroll down. Now, if you look at this, you notice that they said the guest agent is not ready. So you could actually refresh your browser and you see that the guest agent becomes ready all by itself. So that's one amazing thing about this. Yeah, because of the fact that you just deployed this machine just now, so your more like your virtual machine is kind of setting up. So yeah, you'll not really get that kind of accuracy for now. So everything is going to be working fine with time. So just hold on. So now if you look at this is the disks I talked about. So this disk is um the disks that contain the OS disks. I think about 128 gig. So we're going to check that as well. Then if you want to set your, yeah, so this is auto shutdown. Maybe you want to set your timing for your VM to shut down at a particular time. Let's say every 5 p.m. for example, and you go to turn on, then you say 5 p.m. am or 5 p.m. then your time, right? So everything just depending on the time you want to use actually. So I'm going to close this. I don't really need it. So let me go back to the resource and see if the guest agent is ready. So it's still showing not ready. So let's see if we could just refresh this part. So that does not mean you can't connect sometimes. It actually might allow you to connect even though it's showing this error message, right? So let's see again. Okay, so I'm going to just check some of the um, available troubleshooting tools that we have in this place. So first thing first, let me refresh this browser just to confirm what I have on my screen. So it's just to confirm because the guest agent used to be in the not ready state when you carry out a fresh deployment. So I'm just trying to just check what the browser is telling me in real time now. Because I know like in 2 minutes or so it should probably be ready. All right. Okay, let's see what we have now. Now, if you see, we still have all these connect, restart, and stop, capture, delete. We don't need all this for now. So it's showing now that the status is running in not Europe, right? So it's fine. Now let's see this. Then you look at this, you notice that the guest agent is not ready. So from all indication, it's telling us that we can connect without no issues. You can actually connect then without no issues because then it's more like it's kind of starting up, so it's not quite ready, but then it's very much ready. All right, so let's get right into this. So what I want to let us know is the core computing com- properties or components that we should expect when we deploy a new virtual machines. So it's more like you're saying, I have a new computer online. That's what the virtual machine is trying to let you know. And this is a computer that we currently just deployed online, but we can't access it, right? We need to access it. I'm going to show you how to access it. But first, I want to show you how can you even find the specification of this computer. So you can actually see them here. When you go down, you scroll down here, you see the size. This is the SKU of the virtual machine. It shows that we have two cores and we have 8 gig RAM, right? Now, this is where you see them from just the overview level. But let's go to the specific level. So we'll come to settings and we also come to availability scales. So if you look at this, you see we have size, then here we have disks. So let's click on size first to confirm what we have in the overview side. So when we click on size, it populates by the right hand side as well, just like the way we have in the properties. So for the size, what you should be expecting should be probably different SKUs or different VM sizes, like the D series, the E series, the F series. So all these ones are sizes, and also they are also showing the IOPS, and also I think when you scroll down to the end, you see this price. So if you look at this, it's going to be pricing you for the cost of 78 US dollars and 11 cents for 1 month, which is affordable a bit. So we still have other sizes when you scroll down. So when you look at this size, it contains the vCPUs, general purpose. We have the data disks that it accepts. It talks about, so you can actually have like external disks of like 4. That's what it means. Then it has RAM of 8 gig. All right, so that's for the size side. And let's go into the data storage. So the virtual machines, just like you have your hard drive, you need to also have like an hard drive. So this is where the hard drive kind of process is. So yeah, when we come to this part, you see you have your OS disks, which is this, yeah. So this is 127, this is more like 128 gig, right? And it allows you to even attach. So you could actually attach disks. Let's say, for example, you want to attach or create a new. You could just do this, and it's going to give you maybe a space where you can attach an external disk. But I'm not going to attach it now because it's actually out of the scope of this tutorial. So you could actually add your external disks. You can say, okay, I don't want premium because it's quite expensive. You go to standard or stuff like that. You can also change the size there. Maybe say maybe 1024. Let's say 24. So 24 is going to give us about 1024 gig, which is 1 terabyte. So that's quite a lot anyway. So I'm going to discard this for now. But I just wanted to let you know that this is the OS disk of the virtual machine, which you can, if you click on it, it shows you more properties of it, which is more like saying, oh, this OS disk is about 128 gig and is attached to this VM. And if it's not attached, it's going to also tell you that it's not attached to this VM. So that's just what these properties tells us. So if you look at this in general, you see that it contains some details that are related to these virtual machine we deployed. So let me just close this one because I just want to let us know that we have a size, we have the data storage, and the last thing I'm going to show us before we connect to this machine we just created is the networking. So let's go to the networking blade. So it's going to drop down, then you go to network settings. Now this part is more like telling us that we have an environment where we can set up our machines not to connect publicly to the internet. We want to have this computer to be connected to a specific IP. So you can actually do that as well. All right, so what I'm trying to let us now, if you look at this, you see now this is the interface card, the network. So this was created by default. Then public IP was created when we created the VM. But now this is NSG. NSG is more like telling us that this environment we want to connect to this VM. Because of it's a Windows-based VM, by default, our protocol or our port number is always 3389. Now, if it were to be a Linux machine, it's going to be, let's say, it's going to be 22, which is SSH. But in this case, it's RDP and it's open to the internet. Now, but if we don't want to open to the internet, we could just click on this, which is the source. We could probably just edit this particular one, then modify it to make this source as an IP address instead of giving it any. All right, so that's just it. Because of it by default, that's why it's showing any, and this is very, very dangerous because it means that anyone can connect to your computer from the internet. So, but if we want to create it and make it specific, you come to create rule, which I'm not going to do in this class, but I just wanted to show you how you can specifically give it the IP address you want to connect with. So you could come to source and say IP, right? Then it gives you an IP or an IP range, which is the CEDAR range. So this gives us the IP address space that we want to connect with. Then also the port number range you also want, but you could just use IP and the destination Yeah. So then your priority. So let me see. If I want to give it, say, okay, I want it to connect to only my own IP, and I could just come to my browser and say ipapi ip.co. I think this should show me my IP address of my system, but okay, so it's based on my location. Okay, like this is look at what showing me. Yeah, all right, so that's it. Okay, but then I'm not gonna use this IP here because it's gonna like it's can make someone trace you to, so it's fine. All right, so I'm gonna cancel this for now.